Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. So with WrestleMania 34 in the books, ESPN put up a very interesting article projecting matches for next year's WrestleMania 35. WrestleMania 35 is taking place on April 7th in MetLife Stadium. So let's take a look at the matches that ESPN thinks could be possible next year. With the Universal Championship on the line, we would see Roman Reigns as the champion defending against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, doing a three-way for the championship at WrestleMania with all three members of the Shield has been talked about in recent years. They did do this at Money in the Bank a few years back, but doing it at WrestleMania would be pretty good. Also, another scenario with the Universal Championship on the line, we would see Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman have always worked well together, but here's the issue with this. Who's the heel and who's the babyface? Braun Strowman has seemingly turned babyface over the last year, so it's going to be hard because you know they ain't going to turn Roman. Next up, they're projecting Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. I think doing this match at WrestleMania would be great. Unfortunately, we thought that AJ Styles Nakamura at WrestleMania would be great, so hopefully these two would be able to do better. Now next up in a Hell in a Cell match, we would see Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Anytime you get Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn just in a singles match, you know it's gold, you know it's money. We did see that a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. So putting them in a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, whew, I love it. I love the idea. Now next up in a match that probably won't happen but has been rumored, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. It's kind of like the old versus the new. Brock Lesnar's the old, Bobby Lashley seemingly the new. The MMA fighter versus the MMA fighter. Now next up, with the SmackDown Live Women's Championship on the line, is Asuka as the champion, defending against Charlotte Flair. This would be a rematch from this year's WrestleMania, but the roles would be reversed. Obviously, Asuka's no longer undefeated, but Asuka's now the champion, with Charlotte as the challenger. Next up, it would be The Undertaker versus John Cena, career versus career. John Cena and Undertaker had a pretty quick 3 to 4 minute match this year at WrestleMania, but now you can do the build. You can do John Cena challenging The Undertaker yet again, just like Shawn Michaels did, challenging The Undertaker for a second time. Undertaker saying, "What are you going to put on the line this time?" And both men end up putting their careers on the line. Next up, with the United States Championship on the line, a 6-way ladder match with Jeff Hardy as the champion, defending against Shelton Benjamin, Rusev, Killian Dane, Andrade Cien Almas, and Ty Dillinger. They did not do a big ladder match at WrestleMania this year because they did a big ladder match at TakeOver the night before, but I think you bring back that ladder match to WrestleMania, that 6-man ladder match that's been a staple at WrestleMania for many, many years. I know they didn't do one for a while there between Money in the Bank and WrestleMania 31, but you bring it back. You make that something big for WrestleMania, the multi-man ladder match. Also, another scenario with the United States Championship on the line, Andrade Cien Almas as the champion, defending against Chris Jericho. Andrade Cien Almas has been known to have good matches. I mean, he had a great match with Johnny Gargano at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. He had a really, really good match with Aleister Black at this year's TakeOver WrestleMania weekend. So you have him as the United States champion. He's got a year to capture that championship, and then you put him in there with somebody like a Chris Jericho who can go in there and have great matches with anybody. That match, to me, great idea. And finally, with the Raw Women's Championship on the line, you have Charlotte Flair as the champion defending against Ronda Rousey. You have Ronda Rousey go on a tear for the next year leading up to WrestleMania. You somehow, I don't know how, but you somehow get Charlotte Flair onto Monday Night Raw, and she gets the Raw Women's Championship, and then she defends it against the undefeated Ronda Rousey. Whether Ronda Rousey wins and gets the championship, or Charlotte takes the undefeated streak away from Ronda Rousey, either way, it would be monumental, and I could actually see them doing that match as the closer, the main event. So those are some matches that ESPN has projected for next year's WrestleMania 35, taking place at MetLife Stadium in the New York, New Jersey area. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below on these matches that ESPN has projected possibly for WrestleMania. But that's going to do it for this episode. Remember to comment below, like and share this video, like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, subscribe here on YouTube, and follow PWUnlimited.net for the latest in pro wrestling news.